Green dot, green dot, green dot. All right, looks like we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Osmo.com Live Before Lock show. We'll be breaking down the day's 7-game slate. I am back from vacation. I am Chris Spags, joined by my good friend for the first time in far too long, the longest period we've been away from each other. It's a little weird. Josh Engelman. How you doing, Josh?
I'm great. It's good to have you back. I've talked to Jake so much lately. Not that I have a problem with that, but it's good to get back to the old normalcy.
There's, probably a little more data, a little more friendliness with Jake. Whereas for me, my backwards hat shows how tough I am, so I don't even need to tell you. But apparently missed a lot here in the last week. A lot of new people,
It's been eventful.
Yeah. How are the new chat people? Do I have to browbeat anybody today?
You're probably. I mean, I'm sure you will.
Do I have to? Probably not. Will I? Possibly.
There's a decent chance you're going to one way or the other, if I had to guess.
So as long as we both know that, it's fine. It's like a good cop, bad cop thing. But yeah, no, we are back. We are doing this. We got 7 games today. No weather concerns. Kind of a weird slate, but
yeah.
I guess let's talk about the 30-mile view of it. What are you doing, Josh?
One quick thing I want to touch on. Jake, I don't know if you were paying attention at all. He got back-to-back home runs with Oakland's Chris Davis.
I saw that on our Excel spreadsheet because you guys weren't updating it. I saw that when looking at it today.
No, we weren't.
You were not doing your jobs.
I had other jobs.
I guess you had to do a few things dealing with new customers and fires all around.
Yeah, back-to-back Chris Davis.
What a dick. Well, good for Jake. Jake is, I think, still one behind is what I saw. One behind me, but I think tied with you now.
Yeah, it was not great for me at all.
You haven't gotten a home run in a while. I was pretty glad you didn't get one while I was gone, for being honest.
Weird, I wasn't. I should have just took Kendry Morales because all he does is dong.
I know. Apparently, I could have just been on vacation and been like, just take Kendry Morales for every single day, and that would have been right.
So we gave you guys a couple days. One day somebody just said a random number in the chat, so that was the ranking that you got from a home run pick. Most of them fit pretty well. You just missed on someone that you would have actually liked. I can't remember who it was now, but yeah, we randomized a couple for you early in the week.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the effort. Look, it didn't cost me overall. If I were down like 5 home runs now, I'd be pretty pissed, but I feel like still in the lead, still got a 1 home run lead. We'll be back at it. Earl Fountain, shout out to Earl Fountain. I did watch your guys' live stream video this morning, the strategy video, and Earl Fountain said he missed me, so thanks, Earl. Appreciate you. Let's talk baseball, though.
All right.
We're back. What are we doing for your pitchers tonight? We got a interesting group, not a terrible group, I think, but an interesting group. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm on Cole. I'm a little bit over the field there. I'm pretty significantly over the field on Tanaka. Chris Stratton is the guy that I'm going to most in the low end. I've got more than double the field there. I just really like that spot. With how weird pitching is and how expensive it is today, the average price based on our ownership is over $9,000, which is pretty high. There's not a ton of options that are in the low end. I don't really love Despaigne, so I'm willing to take a chance on Stratton being in San Francisco, hoping that he just gets a little hit lucky. And then I'm largely fading Strasburg. We've got him projected for 25% right now, and I'm locking him in no more than 10. I just don't trust him right now.
Okay, that's fair. Strasburg has been getting dinged up lately, though. I did notice with him, he's been getting dinged up, but his numbers actually aren't that far off base. It seems like he's been just a little unlucky recently, but
he had a pretty sizable velocity drop in this most recent start, and that's kind of giving me some pause. Interesting.
Yeah, his xFIP's still pretty in line, K per 9 still in line, but the hard contact's up, and his swing to strike rate like pretty bad now, 7% his last couple weeks. Yeah, I don't know. There's probably something wrong with him, but who knows what. I want to talk more about Despaigne because I feel like Despaigne is probably going to be a popular question tonight. Yeah. Very cheap guy. Oh, there we go. Ryan Wigdor. Can you play a cheap pitcher like Stratton or Despaigne? Despaigne, just a bad player, right? And it's stupid to play him because I'm playing him, but I feel stupid playing him.
No, I don't think it's a bad play or stupid or anything. Rocky's implied total is super low. Despaigne is more of a solid. I don't want to say solid. That's not the right word. Despaigne is more of a pitcher that's good for baseball than he is for DFS. He's not a huge bat misser or anything like that. But he's not a total gas can. I don't have an issue with using anybody at 4,100, particularly in the way this game is set up and with the way that the Rockies have hit righties all year. But I just don't feel the need to go to him today, which is kind of weird considering I have so much Garrett Cole and he's a natural pairing. I just I don't. He doesn't grade out as well as some of the other 4,000 scrap heap bullshit dudes that I end up with.
You have David Hess?
No. I'm well. I mean, I have a couple lines of him, but nothing of value. I am attempting to bludgeon him with bats, though. Figuratively.
Your quick hits guy, Billy McKinney. I'm very all over. He is a guy who I did not know existed before I went on vacation. And apparently he's been quite the phenomenon since then.
I remember when he was traded as a prospect. I did not know that he was going to be lighting the world on fire this year in a brief appearance in the majors and a really nice AAA season so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's really been raking since he came up. It looks like the natural numbers-wise, just a lot of home runs, a lot of power.
I just need him to do it again today.
I'm actually with you on that. I do have a lot of McKinney. I like that the top three especially. I don't think I went to many 5-man Blue Jays stacks. I'm not a big Diaz guy. I don't know.
Blue Jays are my number one stack on both sites by a mile.
And you're 5-manning them? I assume just mostly skipping Smoke and going down to Diaz?
I have a ton of Smoke. Double the field on FanDuel. I have 15% Diaz on DK. I've got everybody on DraftKings a ton except for noted home run hitter Kendry Morales.
Oh, so you're fading Morales?
I mean, I have 6% of him. I don't need much more than that. I don't need to play him at 5,000. Sure, it wouldn't shock me if he donged or anything, but he's overpriced now because of the heater.
He is, and ownership's still not totally caught up with him, at least based on our most recent projections on Awesemo.com, again, for premium members only. But they are there. Morales, we currently are projecting to be about 10% owned, so I'll give you that one for free. Seems like he should be a little higher, given the fact that he's getting blurbs everywhere today.
I wish he was.
Yeah.
I think that's like the 2018 version of instead of being on him because you see it, it's the opposite. Oh, I'm fading it because everybody's talking about him. It's like the sixth step of strategy, you know?
True. I think there is something too with baseball. I think baseball in general, DFS is a little smarter, but sometimes too smart for their own good, where they'll fade a guy like that just because oh, he's too hot, he's going to come back down, and then might end up doing it again. Odds are going against it, though. We're stretching his luck a little bit too far, I think.
Yeah.
Makad, thank you for having me back, Makad. I appreciate you. I guess not having you back. You didn't really have a say in this, but I appreciate the well wishes. Thanks, chat. I missed you guys. I did miss the chat. You're all. I came back. I feel like I get what you were finally saying when you were saying something to the effect of, "Oh yeah, I just missed being in the mix and being a part of it." It is tough to not have that process. It's relieving to not have to prepare spreadsheets and stuff, but just the live stream, it's nice to be back.
Yeah, you don't realize how much you appreciate the routine.
Yeah,
the routine sucks when your job sucks, but when your routine is something that you actually like to do, it gets kind of sad that you're not doing it.
Yep, I agree. I think it was a nice thing to come back and want to appreciate being back, so it's nice. Shane Hall mentioning Rodon. Rodon, a guy who gets lumped in with a lot of the White Sox shitty pitchers. I think I might have talked about this with either you or Jake not that long ago. How are you feeling about Rodon tonight?
Okay, so two-part answer. I have no Rodon on either site. However, I don't dislike him as a pitcher. I think he's good. He's certainly not in the Giolito, Ronaldo Lopez, James Shields class. I actually think he's a good pitcher. The problem is he's getting 9 Yankees righties in New York with a 5.4 run implied total. So I just think that's about as hard of a spot as he's going to find. So I'm not getting to him today because of the matchup, not because I think he's some sort of awful garbage pitcher.
Okay. Yeah, because I think he's pretty good. I mean, the thing is, I don't think he's going to be good enough to win overall against the Yankees lineup, but he did spook me off of them a little bit. People in the chat right now are talking about Luke Voit. I think
he's unavoidable today. It's 3 times, baby. Woo!
I think that he is not unavoidable, but he is a great way to fill the void in your heart with a first baseman.
I love it. I love it so much.
How many more Void puns are there?
I hope a lot. I mean, just pun. We need to work more puns in general into everything that we're doing, I think.
I do enjoy punnery. And we will hit home run picks in 15 minutes. We'll go the usual 6:30 Eastern slot, so we'll get to those.
Yeah.
Luke Voigt maybe next.
I have quite a bit of Voigt.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting pivot off of Morales too. I mean, I think it'd be nice if Morales were a little higher owned, but Voigt been as hot as Morales has, just not obviously getting as many at bats. But overall,
yeah,
really smoking that ball.
Minimum salary on FanDuel.
Yeah, I bet that also makes McKinney probably more appealing on FanDuel too. I saw that he was much cheaper on there. Jerks.
Yeah, McKinney 2,800 on FanDuel, 3,900 on DK. I've got 30% of him on both sites.
Oh, so you're paying up for him even on DraftKings?
Oh yeah, I'm all over McKinney. There's a reason he was a quick hit, man. I got lucky. They brought Granderson in, and they only moved McKinney to the 2 spot. It got better. I wanted Granderson to be in that lineup, so now I get 2 of my favorite lefties on that team. I like the Jays even more than I did this morning.
I do like the Jays too. I do feel, I mean, the ownership, I don't know. The ownership seems low for the Jays. I guess it's gone up a little bit throughout the day, but I don't know. They look so good to me that I'm like, is this a trick? Is David Hess going to have like a good day today? And it's just, I don't know. Stupid David Hess.
If he does, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I won't be around in chat.
Deleted channel asking my favorite stack. Honestly, it's probably the Blue Jays right now, but I didn't go to 5 men. I just went mostly 4s and 3s.
Coward.
So I know. I'm actually with you though on favorite stack, which I feel like is pretty rare even on a short slate.
That makes me happy.
Let's see. All the freaking Jays. Corbin/Cole. Yeah, I guess who would you go with out of Corbin and Cole? Which do you prefer more?
I've got 42% Cole on DraftKings, and I have 18% Corbin. Similarly on FanDuel, 45% Cole, 14% Corbin. So I'm much higher on Cole.
Okay. Yeah, I think Cole is the better play, but I financially, for being a prudent finance guy with my DFS monies, I would probably go more Corbin. I think I just felt a little safer. And that total's gone down today, too, throughout the day, which kind of made me feel a little more secure.
Yeah, Jake and I did a pretty solid deep dive on Corbin this morning. I really do wish I had more, but Cole's just grading out so well for me right now, and they're close enough in expected ownership on DK that I don't really feel like I need to make any strong decisions. Although I did just do a recrunch, so everything I just said might go right out the shitter as soon as I click refresh.
What catcher are you mostly playing today for both sides?
That's a great question. I have no idea.
Catcher's a tough position today. It's not one that I love.
All right, so at catcher, 22% Russell Martin, 16% Wieters, 15% Higashioka. I don't know if I said that right, and I'm not in the position to figure it out.
Close.
Yeah, close enough. 15% Kyle, 13% Wilson Contreras, and 10% Plawecki. I've got scatterings otherwhere, but those are the 5 guys I have in double digits right now.
Yeah, Kyle, I don't mind. I think he's a pretty decent play. Higashioka.
Angels lineup out.
Oh, there we go. So only still got 3 remaining that we do not have. Let's see. What about Gray? His price is pretty solid on FanDuel.
Yeah, I'm actually way under the field on Gray, and I'm a little surprised by it because he's a guy that I normally get, like even if he's pitching in Colorado. But I only have 6% Gray on FanDuel. That's like a third of the field, and I'm at basically half of the field on DraftKings. I just have a lot more Cole and Tanaka, and subsequently less Strasburg and Gray. So I'm going up further for those guys and loading up more on the Gaviglio and Stratton combo.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I do feel like today's slate in particular does kind of seem like a pay down and avoid everything thing. So but Gray though, still people are going to him a lot. I think we had him as being the highest owned guy. Might still. I didn't see the most recent update.
He is, unless it's been updated in the last minute or two. Yeah,
John Gray to me, I think is a good play, but I don't know that I want to play John Gray at 34%. I don't know. Today feels like a play some crappy pitchers. Play a Sam Gaviglio, see how it shakes out. Play some.
I play Gaviglio every 6 days or however often he starts.
I never like Gaviglio, but I do think there's a pretty valid case to play Gaviglio today.
I completely agree with you.
I do like Cedric Mullins. Cedric Mullins is one guy. I don't know if I have many lineups right now.
I hate Cedric Mullins. Do you want to know why?
Why? Is it the 2?
Okay, so yes, it is, but it's because Fantasy Cruncher doesn't take the 2, and it makes me delete it first. So that's why I hate it. Yeah, like I just need to change my naming structure for my pivot table when I do the copy paste. Normally it's completely fine, but Mullins now, anytime he's in the lineup, I have to go find him and move the 2 out of there. Because I don't know what Fantasy Cruncher uses for their naming conventions. I can't seem to figure it out. It's certainly not Fangraphs.
I don't know what we use either, because sometimes ours are like different from ownership and grades. I've noticed that since I put it in my spreadsheet, and I've been a little disappointed. I think we need to have like a council where we unify all the names.
My assumption, based on what I know, would be that Alex is using the actual names for the rankings from DraftKings. So whatever name you have on DK, that's what's in the DK rankings. Whatever name you have on FanDuel, that's what's in the FanDuel rankings. And then I'm sure the ownership is something that organizes his data particularly, not specific to a site. I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah. But like guys like Vince Velasquez, I think, had both for a little bit.
Yeah, I think Mullins is just Cedric Mullins in our list, but then in Fangraphs, I think he's Cedric Mullins, II, which 2, I guess I could say 2, but II seems better to spell it out. I don't know. II, indeed. When we make the Council of Baseball names, there's a follow-up to Players Weekend, which it was fucking stupid. Players Weekend is stupid. I don't like the whole baseball's fun thing they're trying to do like really, really hard now.
Yeah, because it's not fun. Oh, there you go. Tom in the chat. I think it's all DK names. Yeah, it's definitely not, or at least it wasn't for a while, because we had 2 versions of some people across both. I don't know if that's been fixed or not. That could have been in late April. My memory is terrible.
What do you have to say about players that you're totally not on that go completely off, like Tampa a few days ago? I guess for you that's probably more of a thing because if you're max entering.
I don't know. I don't have anything to say about it. I mean, it happens every single day, over and over and over again. So, I mean, when
there usually isn't one pathway to success. There's usually multiples.
Yeah, I mean, every day I'm going to miss heavily on. So, like, I have essentially no Giants, Angels, Astros, Phillies, A's, and White Sox on DK. I'm sure one of those teams scores 7 or 8 runs. It's just how it works. I try to pay attention to my personal success, and if that's still decent, then I don't stress out about it too much. If I go on a relatively long losing streak, I'm more likely to dig in a little bit further and, try to figure out if I was making any mistakes or if there was something I need to look at deeper in the sheet. But if it's just like random noise, just people going off, it doesn't even register.
I usually just curse at my phone whenever I see them move ahead of me in the rankings. That's how I handle it.
It depends if they're owned or not. Like today I don't have any Astros, but they've got pretty decent ownership. So if they go off, I'd be more likely to check it out. But we're projecting 12% aggregate ownership or 12% total ownership to the Giants. That's everybody added up individually. If they blow up, I don't really give a shit because everybody's at like 1.5%. They're basically just, guys that are trying to mass enter and cover additional ownership.
Yeah. I mean, a guy like if it's let's say Garrett Cole gets rocked tonight and the Athletics go off. That doesn't make me feel bad at all. Like, I think T McBee. The comment in the chat, I think, is right. Just curse at your phone and say, really? And then just move on with your day.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. If I've got like a really long stretch of losing money, then I'll reevaluate. But so far, so good.
Sure. Thank you, Brandon Parker. There was several of those things, but in no particular order. Frazier for cash. Yeah, Frazier boats. We didn't talk much about the Mets Cub game yet. What are we doing there? Because I think it feels like a trap a little bit. Yeah,
so I love the Mets. I have a ton of them, but I'm basically just with the field. And that makes me a little nervous. Let me hop to that game quick. Like, they only have a 4.9 run implied total. But I'm having trouble like reconciling that with the fact that it's only a 7-game slate. It doesn't seem like it should be that good of a spot, but just, righties against a lefty. I mean, the price point seems to be there. All of the positions sort of line up really well. So I like to have the Mets. Would it shock me if Leicester just mowed them down? Not at all. They've been really bad against lefties this year.
And the Cubs too, you're with the field with ownership wise?
No, so that's actually a pretty big fade for me. I basically don't have them on FanDuel, and I have like half of them on DK.
Okay, yeah, because that's how I felt with them too. I think Syndergaard's too good, and I think Lester's been good enough lately. He seems like he fixed some of his issues. His hard contact rates kind of dropped off a cliff in a good way. It's gotten much better. His last couple outings after he got shelled a few in a row. So I don't mind the Mets, but I think the Cubs, to me, I get the price point, but I think Syndergaard's still good. I don't think it matters how the wind's going there with him.
Yeah, I mean, if he's missing bats, the wind doesn't play much of a role. That's really how it all comes down to.
And he's certainly capable of missing bats, and the Cubs have been good lately, but I don't know. I don't find them to be as unplayable as some of the ownership seems to be indicating.
Like it's a tough matchup for the Cubs, or like for Syndergaard. These are the projected K rates for some of the guys in the Cubs lineup. Murphy, 11%. Just for reference, league average is 22. So Murphy, 11. Rizzo, Zobrist, and Hayward all at 14. I mean, these are guys that basically don't strike out. So that's a tough proposition when there's some wind. I actually would have figured the line could have crept even higher than it is. I'm trying to force in a little bit of Syndergaard just to make up for the fact that I don't have as much Cubs. So if the Cubs don't do well, I might be able to get a double benefit there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 2017, 2018 numbers. They're not quite as bad. Baez strikes out 27.5%. Contreras strikes out above league average. 27.8 for Schwarber. 31% for Lester. It's a bit of a gift.
Yeah.
Bote striking out too. So, I think there's a logic in going to Syndergaard.
Yeah, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I don't want to have a bunch of him. But if he's only 3% owned, I can double that and feel pretty comfortable. I like that leverage.
Tamar Green. I like Kendry Morales versus Hess. I do too, Tamar. But we'll find out which of us will be on the right side of history today.
I hope it's not Morales, man. Go smoke.
I want, I don't think I could ever root against like a home run streak like that. I'd rather be on the side of supporting Morales more than not, just to be like, it's a big thing in baseball. I like baseball stats.
Yeah, I'm going against it. I prefer my money.
No, you're right. You're right. But if you were like 30% owned, yeah, but at 10%, I think then you're backing a moderately owned horse in a matchup that seems pretty winnable.
Diamondbacks.
Everybody get on the
stack, or Diamondbacks lineup is out as well.
Go smoke. No smoke. No Justin smoke for me, but actual other smoke, totally fine. I approve of that.
There's some changes in the D-backs lineup if that matters to anybody.
No D-backs for me tonight. I don't need that. Yeah. All right. Let's see. My home run pick, Juan Soto. Juan Soto is one of your quick hits. What are you doing with Juan Soto now?
That's a good question. Let's find out. So Soto, I have 13% on FanDuel. That's double the field. I have 16% on DK. That's slightly more than double the field. So Team Juan Soto.
Yeah, I like Soto. I like lefties versus Eflin. Somebody pointed out in the chat he has been better at home Eflin versus lefties is a matchup that he's been really bad at. He has the second worst home run rate on the slate, just behind David Hess. So no great shakes for Eflin versus lefties, and obviously a lot of lefties there who can smash it.
And that's a big time lefty home run power park. So I love it.
Let's see. Kendry 6% yesterday. MLB DFS stubborn. Yeah, you know what? Probably right. The whole industry is saying Morales is too hot. That's when I want to be on. Kevin Zoe talking sexy in the chat.
I just want to be off of him because of his price. It has nothing to do with whether or not I think he's like hot or not. It's simply that he is now overpriced for what he should be.
I want to smash Morales when he's hot and nobody else is on him. That's what I'm talking to you, Kendry. It's funny though that you didn't pick him at all, given that that's your guy. I think he's more home runs for you than anybody else has picked.
Yeah, I've had two of them.
And you didn't pick. Yeah, no.
I don't know.
That's so surprising. Right? You were out.
Horseshit.
It's too hot for you. Too hot for you to get on. Story or we're not doing either ors yet. We'll do either ors at the end of the show. We're not there yet emotionally, but it is 3:30. Time to make our home run picks. I don't know if the baseball savant Jake Hari is in the chat or not. We'll find out shortly. But you know what? I'll make my home run pick first because I'm back from vacation. And like a girl having her birthday month, I just get to do what I want when I'm back from vacation. I'm gonna go Kendrick Morales.
Okay. I've got Justin Smoke.
Oh, okay. We're right back in the mix. We are right back in the mix.
So, Kendrick Morales, a crisp 4th in my home run model today.
All right.
Justin Smoke,
I like
5th.
They're neck and neck. They're neck and neck. I think it's a fantastic play by both of us. It's like one of those flow charts or choose your own adventure where there's only so many outcomes.
Yeah.
You cannot have both those plays in your lineup.
Sure you can.
At least on DraftKings you can.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I definitely do.
On FanDuel, yes, you can. You can double dip all you want on the Blue Jays first baseman, but on DraftKings, you got to choose one.
And you should choose Justin Smoke.
I think you should choose Kendrick Morales. I'll go on a limb.
There's nobody else against me. He's my dude.
Nobody's brave enough in this industry to pick Kendrick Morales to pick a home run. I do it. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm back. I feel good about it.
Oh, I hope he goes 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts.
You certainly do. But boy, ride the hot hand. That's what me and Sean B say, wherever that guy is.
He's been in.
Okay. Sad he's not here for me today.
No Jakey today. Where you at, Jake? Sick of talking to him.
He's afraid of my home run. He feared my dongs.
I'm not even going to go
there. There's just many justifiable reasons, none of which related to size, I'm sure.
Yeah. Giants lineup's out.
See this Giant. What about the Giants lineup in particular? They went very righty-handed. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, it's different too. No belt.
Not enough to get me off of Corbin, though.
No. Come on, Giants. So just the Rockies remain. I'm going to go ahead and hope that I can do my final crunch then. Because I'm crunching more lineups than I normally do, and I'm going to need the time.
Nathan Benson is begging, and I'm going to assume he's a new user, because he's asking really, really sadly for our help. And normally we don't do either ors until the end of the slate, but also he didn't give us a site. Never mind. Nathan Benson, give us a website that you're playing on. Can't even help you with your either or if you don't do that.
Correct. I'm a stickler for the site, people. So for anybody here from normally from FanVice, for answering any either or questions, try to include which site you're playing on. It really matters.
Is there any justifiable reason to play Stratton tonight on FanDuel? I'm paying up for contrarian bats, and the only way I can do it is by paying down at pitcher.
I have 6% Stratton. I don't think that he would be like my only guy, but like if I was playing one lineup, I probably wouldn't do it. But I have some of them in, I don't know, 300 and something FanDuel lineups.
Yeah, I'm not. I only play DraftKings though, but either way, I'm not on Stratton tonight. Goldschmidt's been hot for Arizona, and I feel like Arizona I can never just get right, so I just mostly avoid them generally. It's just how it's been my approach since they burned me on stack wise and burned me on the other end too.
Also, I prefer Story to Correa tonight.
There you go. On FanDuel?
You know, it's really funny. I actually looked at that on DK, but yes, the answer is still yes. I have 11% Story at an 11.1 fantasy point production, and then I have 0% Correa at a lesser projection. So, team Story all the way.
There you go, Nathan. You did it. Nathan for you. Nathan, for you.
Alex Bregman, Jake Hari in the house.
All right, the baseball savant's pick is in, and I will enter it in the dong sheet because I'm the responsible one who remembers to track all of our dong usage.
Yeah, we really should have offloaded that to someone in the chat.
It's fine. I'd rather it not get screwed up, especially when I'm winning. When I wasn't winning and I kind of like got a little lax.
Damn you, Cedric Mullins.
Kendry. It's weird to have Kendry Morales on my column. I think that's the first time that's happened.
Put it in red now. He's not going to do that to me.
There is a chance he wouldn't break your heart.
Don't go breaking my heart.
I wouldn't if I tried. I imagine the fan advice people are like, do they always break into musical interludes?
I figured they would have just assumed that they wanted us to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they.
Shit, how many games are they? 7?
There are 7.
Okay. Gotta start stacking up.
The rumor on the street is that we just got an ownership projection update. If you are a premium member, so if you're not a premium member, go sign up now. We also still have our NFL deal. If you're trying to get save $20 on the NFL all season pass, just sign up. Promo code NFLA20. You get $20 off on the all season pass and other delightful freebies in the interim. So go sign up. Do that now. Get all the ownership and stuff that we're talking about. Going to be football season soon. We're going to do a video this week too with some interesting people. Another roundtable talking football.
I'm actually starting to get excited for football.
Are you finally?
Yeah, it took a bit, but for some reason now I'm kind of excited to go really hard and just sit back and watch Red Zone.
I agree with that. I actually canceled my direct ticket today because I was like, fuck that. I'm just going to stream it. But I have to figure out how to get Red Zone on Uverse. Apparently I have to upgrade my package, which is a whole fucking thing. Too much effort for football.
I might be able to help you out if you're interested.
I would take help. I mean, like, I trust the NFL, the streams on certain websites that have aliens as their logo, but I feel like I want something more reliable.
Yeah, I can help you out with that.
Okay. Well, we'll discuss all sorts of piracy issues offline. So miss Lockie and Adam. Hey, good news, Anthony Stewart. They're going to be doing stuff too, I'm sure, soon. So lots of varieties. No need to whine.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to come in and do. But Anthony, we're shooting for Wednesday to start back up on that exact same normal schedule that you were used to. So lots of stuff going on in the back end, a lot of production that needs to be changed over. So yeah, we're shooting for Wednesday, and you should get your daily dose of Laffy and Adam.
Was it Laffy? Laffy. I think I said Lauki.
Well, I spelled it wrong in an email to him, so I felt like a complete asshole.
Sorry, Laffy. Let's see. Can you have a season package for one sport and a monthly sub for another concurrently? I believe you can now, right?
Yeah, maybe. I think so. I think that was like one of the main reasons that we needed to switch our subscription software. So I think so.
Yeah, that sounds familiar to me. Ryan B. House Immaculate. I did not make it to Wilson Winery. I went to Cougar Winery, Peltzer, some other one with an Italian name, and some other one. I was really drunk. So Cougar was the only memorable one, naming wise. Any love for Rodon today?
0.
We talked about him a little, but yeah, 0 for me. Anthony Stewart behind the paywall. No, it'll be free, Anthony. Our videos, for the time being, will all be free. We believe in sharing content with the world.
We didn't share that message yet, though.
Oh, whoops. Maybe it'll change. I don't know. It's all mystery. It's all in the air. Whatever. They said things too. Everybody says things. Too much information going around. How do you? What? Nathan Benson. How do you break down your stacks if you like more than 3 teams? I don't know how to answer that, but maybe you do, Josh.
So, I mean, I guess the follow-up question for me there would be, Nathan, are you trying to play 3 lineups? Because if you're not trying to play just 3 lineups, then it changes sort of the answer to my question. Or the answer to, I don't know. It just changes things. I'm in shambles, man. I've been sitting in this seat essentially 13 hours.
Your butt groove must be looking real strong.
No, I'm just sweating through into the chair at this point.
That's what I remember. This is a problem. I just a gross tangent that needs to be addressed.
I mean, you don't have to go there if you don't want to.
I'm incapable. Once the train starts, it's hard to stop it. When I was in high school, I remember I went to when I went to college, just thinking about my chair, like the chair I had in my room at my desk, and like the things it went through. It was like a fabric like office chair, and like it was beaten up beyond belief. Just ass sweat and bodily fluids. And
that was what I was going to say. What did I just do?
all sorts. Clean your chairs would be the takeaway. If you're an adult, everybody clean your office chairs.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you over the field with your sweat? Marcos asks.
At this point, yeah. It's really hot in my office today. I've got too much shit, 2 separate desktop computers, 2 monitors, lighting rigs, my PlayStation. There's just a lot of tech running in here.
That's like whenever I've been in a professional studio or like a newer one where they haven't figured out the AC thing or that you need AC, like at the places I've worked before here. It's always insufferable being anywhere with production equipment and you're in a closed room and you can't have air on or a fan on because there's it picks up the audio. It's fucking miserable.
Yeah, there's no fan on behind me, unfortunately.
So Osmo is you two, Osmo, Jake, Hari, Laffy, and some other FanVice people who I don't want to leave anybody out, so I won't even name them. But many of your favorite FanVice personalities are now a part of Osmo.com exclusively. So
yeah,
go check that out.
Almost everyone that was at FanVice is now with us.
There will be more announcements coming soon. Keep an eye on our Twitter. Keep an eye on the FanVice Twitter too, but probably mostly our Twitter because FanVice Twitter is probably going to take a little nap for a little bit so we figure some things out.
Yeah, and the website will be taking a nap very shortly.
Let's see.
All right, DraftKings crunch is done. That's exciting. Off to FanDuel.
The Giants total went down below the White Sox. I've been all over the Giants today. Their total has been going down all day too, trickling further and further.
You've been all over the Giants?
No, all over Corbin. I mean, all over them, really getting after their ass with Patrick Corbin.
I didn't know what you meant by that. I was like, it's going down, and that's somehow appealing.
It's only getting down.
Hash this one out.
Contrarian, baby. Juggernaut. There'll be announcements coming. We're not gonna individually go personality by personality. There'll be people. There's people. They'll all be here. Everybody you love.
Juggernaut, bitch. Juggernaut. Yes on Eddie Fear.
More like the Jugger not going to answer any more of your questions.
I'm happy about it.
I'm glad. Do Caviglio's home and road splits scare you off of him at all?
No.
Yeah, the matchup is still pretty good with Baltimore, so I don't see any issue with it.
People will probably lose their minds when I say this. I don't even look at them.
I don't either unless I notice something super egregious elsewhere. I just feel like it doesn't help too much. And everything, most of the stats balance it out anyway.
Yeah. I'm using enough data that I'm not super worried about it. I might pay attention to something like that in terms of someone coming from Colorado, just because of the way altitude affects the body. But even then, I don't ever look at it. I probably should.
Which pitcher gets jumped on first?
I don't know who starts the first game. I
mean, it's probably David Hess.
Probably David Hess. I mean, I hope it's David Hess at least.
Yeah, my choices are all backing David Hess being the pitcher who gets jumped on. Juggernaut, you're okay. Don't worry about it. You'll figure it out. We're all figuring things out as we go. There's a lot of things. Everything kind of came along quickly. So some things still getting hammered out, but we're doing our best to bridge the gaps between the Osmo communities and the FanVice communities and merge them into one happy Brady Bunch-like family without the incestuous undertones.
Yeah, it's all moving really quickly. We're trying to get back to normal as fast as we can, and we're close. In a week, it will look the same or largely the same. You'll just type a different URL into your browser.
And they were just lost without me last week. They couldn't possibly do anything. They were paralyzed by fear to
I mean, that was pretty much all of it.
It's like you guys were all just like cowering in the corner, like, "Oh, when does Chris get back?" And I was just like, sorry guys, I'll help you. You'll look up to help. Or fuck, I'm not gonna get that Watchmen quote right. I'm just gonna give up.
I get so much satisfaction out of your failure.
Oh man, is the Rockies lineup out yet?
No.
Oh no, okay, that's the one left. That's the only one left. There you go. Coming soon, I'm sure.
All the White Sox. Yeah, none of the White Sox.
I would one-off some White Sox just because Tanaka gives up so many home runs.
I have 2 lines of 5-man White Sox stacks on DK because I forced 2 of everybody. That's it.
Yeah, I don't mind the little one-off Palkas or whatever. I think that anybody could hit a home run versus Tanaka too. So that's what I'm going to as a stack.
Oh, you would have got my joke from earlier. I don't know if you saw it in Slack. I've been typing Masahiro Chono every time I've tried to type Tanaka.
I've been thinking of Masato Tanaka often.
Really?
the ECW guy with the chairs?
I mean, I'm familiar. Still active, I think.
Oh, that's right. I did see that. Yeah. No, so we both have. Our Japanese pro wrestling is too important to both of us.
And someone in the Slack said they just kept thinking about Morimoto, the Iron Chef. So we were all over it.
That's not the best. We got to clean up our Japanese nomenclature game. I've gotten better since I watched more New Japan, where I'm not going like, oh, they all sound the same, because they don't. They're all different.
No. I just for some reason, like I typed it last night into my pitcher sheet, like when I was updating the lineups before I recorded the night shift. I typed Masahiro Chono into the Yankees starter and went to go look through the data, and I was like, what the fuck? Why is nothing pulling through correctly? I was like, oh, because not a 60-year-old pro wrestler is not starting for the Yanks tonight.
Maybe he's due. Maybe it's just his time. He threw a great first pitch somewhere in the Japanese league, and they just brought him up. If you're making 20, actually, a better question for you, Josh. If you were making 20 lineups and a 20 max, would you build by hand or optimize?
I would optimize always. If I were building one lineup, I would optimize 100 and start chipping away at the ones I didn't like until I landed on what I wanted.
Interesting. Okay. I would go by hand. I like going by hand, though, but you have to still be aware of ownership and all that stuff while you're going.
I want to know how far away I am from my own personal optimal lineup from a total perspective. Like if I added it all together and found out that I was only at 88% of my fantasy points for that lineup, I would want to throw that in the trash if I were building it by hand. I would know that I was making a mistake somewhere and I was leaving value on the table. I mean, that might be different on like a 3-game slate where it's not the same, but even like I think 7's big enough, but on a 14, you don't want to deviate too far away from your peak because you're leaving stuff on the table.
Yeah, but I mean, I would say it's more applicable for Lewis if he is making his own projections. If you're just using like Fantasy Cruncher, I would think I would want to use somebody else's straightaway projections for just 20 lineups.
Yeah, like I would crank out fantasy. Like if I were using Fantasy Cruncher and those were the projections, I'd probably put randomization at like 20 to 25, and then I'd let it rip, and then I would just start lopping out lineups that I didn't like until I got to like seeing one that I did like, moving it to another crunch, get to another one, move that over, and so it's like a combination of optimizing while building by hand. And then you could swap guys out individually. Fantasy Cruncher makes for a really good. I mean, I know we're sort of just touting Fantasy Cruncher here. Fantasy Cruncher makes for a really good tool, even if you are playing a couple lineups, because of the ability to like swap guys out in the crunch.
Yeah, no, I get that. I like making. I mean, look, for me, part of the joy of in general is making lineups by hand. So I would still say, like, I look at optimizers generally and compare like what I'm coming up with compared to that. So I like going by hand, but I think I would still say I would trust a machine dedicated to optimizing my stuff more than I would myself. But I just prefer that process. So
yeah, Rocky's lineup apparently just came out.
Oh, the buzz on the street.
Well, it gave me the weird pop up on Fantasy Cruncher, but it's not on Fantasy Crabs yet.
I like memberships are there, so I think that would fit the criteria of things I could say for free.
You do have one?
Fantasy Labs. Take that. Yeah, I've had that for a while because of Bales.
Yeah. Yeah, not me. Yeah. I've poked my head in from time to time.
Sucks for you now. I've got all the free ones, and I have the free membership advantage. Take that. I also got a FanDuel membership. I hear those are really going to pay off.
Yeah, you better use it today because the website won't be there.
I think Houston is the play. Come on, Josh. Houston's an interesting play to me tonight. I never know what to do with Brett Anderson. Houston's been hot lately, especially versus lefties. They're now the best team this season versus lefties. I feel like I don't have enough Houston. How do you feel about him?
I don't have any Houston, and I am not comfortable with that stance. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why. I am afraid of Brett Anderson. So Brett Anderson's another guy that grades out solidly for me as a pitcher, but not necessarily as a fantasy pitcher. So I don't get to Brett Anderson as some sort of like DFS option, but I don't necessarily want to be against him. I'm very nervous about the righties at the top. I'm very nervous.
Yeah, I agree. Though Anderson, I guess he's a little worse versus lefties, which is one of those things which I always note with him. It's kind of weird. Not as many home runs, but in general, I think giving up contact, he's a little worse versus lefties. But yeah, I don't know. He just doesn't grade out terribly poorly, and he keeps fly balls down. I think that's probably to his success. Just doesn't give up a ton of home runs. So I don't know that it's a fantastic stack, but I see the logic there.
Yeah, I see on paper, I see it. They're just not grading out well. And like I literally don't have them on either site besides the 2 forced in 5-mans. Or the 4-man on FanDuel. I just don't have them. And what do we got? We got the field at 8% on DK, and I only have those 2 lines. We got the field at 5% on FanDuel. I only have those 2 lines. So they have the potential to hurt me really, really bad.
Do they really want to hurt you?
Cargo, Arenado, Story. All right, Holiday is in. Who's not in? Ryan McMahon?
Tyler Starkweather, you're right. Well, I guess there aren't over 300 now, but enough people watching. Give us a like, please. It's like tipping your bartender. It's just good courtesy. Give us a little likey poo and a subscribe if you haven't done that yet. We're here for you.
I do hate tipping my bartender. Depending on what I'm drinking. I overtip. Oh, so do I.
Oh.
I'm very much an over tipper, but I hate tipping a bartender if I'm only having a bottled beer.
Yeah, for that I'll usually go $1, but as long as I'm somewhere
that's preposterous to think about.
You could also sort out the end if you want to. I mean, I guess it's still if you're only getting bottles, but there's still a process there. I don't know. I always have them on my side. I feel like it's always a better thing, both caramel-wise and just in terms of my life flow.
Yeah, I'm more likely to drop like a fairly sizable tip to start in that scenario, just so that I don't have to remember to do it the rest of the time. And it'll just bother me to give $1 back every time. Dramatically increases the cost of a beer.
If you go to an all-inclusive, though, you go to the tip them up front thing and you tip them at the end.
Shout out Percy in Jamaica, man.
I love my Jamaican bartenders too. They're very happy there, despite like a very crippling socioeconomic situation where they don't even have clean water.
Yeah, my dude Percy I gave him whatever I gave him to start, and that dude hooked me up hardcore for the entire time we were there.
You gave him whatever you gave him, and that happened to be HPV.
Yep. Nailed it.
He was willing to take whatever.
Nailed it.
Attorney is Sammy G. I don't like Sam Giglio being referred to as Sammy G.
Sammy G's nuts.
Who's your top value play at outfielder on FanDuel?
Have to find out.
It's got to be. It's unquestionably McKinney.
It could be. Grichuk?
Oh God.
McKinney close second.
How much is Grichuk on FanDuel?
$100 cheaper than McKinney.
Oh really? Wow. FanDuel prices, man. Get your shit together, FanDuel. Great to have Chris and some logic back. I am often known for my logic. Thanks, Tommy. That's what people say about me. That guy's real logical with his life choices. That's sarcasm in case you're a new viewer here. But no, I am great at picks and touts. The home run picks, by the way, speaking of touts and picks, home run picks for the day. I am going off the board, Kendrys Morales. Josh going with a very chalky Justin Smoke. And who's the baseball savant going with again? Alex Bregman?
Yes.
Alex Bregman. And the baseball savant, Jay Kari, owner of baseballsavant.mlb.com. Maybe soon to be a part of the Osmo network. We don't know yet. We'll find out if he can ever sell it off. But he's going with Alex Bregman.
They're fuckers.
Jason Kelly has said a couple times that Thor is going to hit a dong. I don't know why you would think that, Jason Kelly, but get it for it anyway.
All right, time to figure out who's going in these stacks.
That fan by slap, a thriving place for content.
Yeah, quite the metropolis of people.
Getting so many notifications. Maybe some chat things coming soon for everybody. Who knows? Let's see. Kevin Zoe thinks the Yankees lineup is weak. It is pretty weak, but still have some pretty strong hitters.
Yeah, I'm. It's not weak. Ryan McMahon, how do I replace you?
Keep him in. What if he comes off the bench and hits a home run?
What if?
Soto long ball for sure. Soto's been a little cold lately, so that actually I want to, or at least a couple of my Washington stacks. Using my my recency bias chart. Astros, Jays, GPP. Interesting approach, Lewis. I don't hate it.
I really wish I wasn't doing this the way that I'm doing it right now, but I am. I don't have enough time to care.
You should have a t-shirt that says that.
I don't have enough time to care.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a mom meme shirt that you could see somebody having.
Seems like a decent first piece of merch for us.
We should start selling merch. I don't know why we don't do that. Somebody listen. Somebody out there listen and buy some merch. Eric Cooper for umpire in Mets game. What does that mean, Kevin? So tell us more. I don't look at umpires.
I do not either.
I do believe we account for it in our rankings, though, if I'm not mistaken. DK Turney, would you go with Corbin and Sammy G, or Rodon and Gray?
Oh, the first one by miles.
Yes, I think the first one too. Yankees lineup looks awful. It doesn't look the best, but they still have good hitters. So I don't think it's. I think I would be a fool to say that that the Yankees lineup is going to get beaten tonight by Rodon. But we discussed before, Rodon good enough to maybe limit some damage.
Yeah.
The first merch should be "Don't use BVP." You are right, Shark. You know us well.
Yeah, for sure.
BVP is for pussies. PvP is for pussies will be our first shirt coming out. Our new co-branding with the Big Dog clothing line. Going real aggressive. Josh, what's your exposure to Strasburg?
10% on DK, I believe. Yeah, 10% on DK, 8% on FanDuel. I can't get there. I'm too nervous. With that said, I'm sure he's going to be incredible.
Best lineup you ever had, was that with a safe or a contrarian pitcher? I think the best lineups I've ever had were usually with contrarian pitchers.
I can't remember a single lineup I've ever had. I'm not even trying to be funny.
That's probably because of the hand thing. Because I do it with my hand. I remember them all much more personally. I look them in the eye when I do it with my hand.
Like everything that I've won this year, I have no idea who I had, what day it was, who was in the lineup. Totally clueless.
I don't often play super chalky pitchers, especially together. I usually go contrarian because that's what I've noticed being successful, and that's what I've been the most successful with. But that's obviously not a rule of thumb. I just think you can. I think if you have good enough data, you can farm deeper for pitchers and usually end up okay. But you have to have like a top guy in there, a guy who's capable of getting strikeouts and stuff. So it's all relative. It's all relative for the slate.
For some reason, I can't get Ryan McMahon out of my lineups.
You should tell him he's fired.
But I don't understand why. Unless I'm just not looking at third baseman, and that's my problem. But like, I'm very specifically getting third baseman.
I don't know. Maybe maybe FanDuel knows more than you do.
Like, almost everybody has this is going to be a conflict type thing.
Who is your top catcher play on DK?
I will give that answer shortly. Who did I read off earlier? I read off like 5 of them.
Be damned if I remember.
Like, if I try to replace him with Russell Martin here, all of my lineups that I'm trying to do this in will not let me do it.
Problematic.
Yeah, like I literally can't get him out for anybody. Cheap salary, whatever. I can't even get people that are playing.
Everybody just watch Josh struggle. That'll be our close out for the day.
Go Jose Reyes today, apparently.
Well, that I agree with. Jose Reyes is a fine
4 minutes. Let's do it. What other questions you got for me?
What's your ownership on Strasburg and your ownership on Despagne?
Despagne 6%, so half the field, and Strasburg, as I said, 10%.
Are you okay with a lineup that has a Mets 2-man of Jackson and Conforto in it on DK?
I've got more Jackson than the field is projected, and what was the other one? Conforto? I have more Conforto than what's projected, so yes, I'm very okay with that.
Will Kendrys homer off the first or second pitch tonight? Which do you think, Josh?
Kyle, once you're banned.
Ohtani double dong tonight. Screenshot it. Interesting contrarian play. He is back at home, and he does play better at home.
I don't have him, and we're projecting him to be not owned today, so I don't really care if it happens, but be fine.
Yeah, I like Ohtani, but not tonight. He didn't come up a ton for me. And that total didn't exactly inspire me to get after it. Am I really going to go with Higashioka? Catcher tonight on DK, not the best. Who's your favorite value SP2?
Chris Stratton.
For me, it's probably just. Is it Despaigne? It's probably Despaigne. No, not my heart's not in it though, for being honest.
You want to talk about Manu Ginobili retiring?
So I saw some arguments that people think he's not going to be in the Hall of Fame, and I don't know how he wouldn't possibly be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh my God, he's a lock, no-brainer Hall of Famer.
He's probably the best bench player in NBA history. He's probably a top 5 European player, maybe the best or top 5 best bench players ever. It's silly.
Part of a legendary international team.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, it's sad though that era's over. That Spurs era is officially done. I do think they're going to be better this year for it though. Like I kind of like the Aldridge, DeRozan pairing.
Yeah, I sent a text to a group message that I have to one of my buddies that's a really big Spurs fan. I was like, can somebody check on Ryan? I want to make sure that he's not hanging from his ceiling from a Tony Parker Hornets jersey.
Getting rid of Parker was a great move for them. Like Murray needs to get minutes there. He's a pretty good rebounder. He's a pretty good defender. His offense isn't there yet, but
I'm sure Pop will still not play him for 45 games in the year.
It'll still be Patty Mills out there until the fucking day he dies.
I can't wait till that random Tuesday where it's like, oh, yo, the price is really cheap, man. I'm loading up on him today. And then he plays 4 minutes. Happens at least once a year.
I'll never forget that game he had last year because I was all over him that night that he had the big game versus the Cavs. And I was like, this just feels like a Murray breakout night. I think that.
Anytime I feel like it's a Murray breakout night, Patty Mills plays 44 minutes.
That's also probably true. Chris, you reply to DMs. If you are a busty blonde, yes.
I was just going to say, not if your name's Michael. If that's Michelle.
If you want to do a little tuck work, Mike, no, maybe. I mean, I get a lot of DMs, so I don't reply to everything, and I sometimes forget. What's your favorite wrestling finisher? Sweet chin music.
Did you see the dude in MMA hit it a couple days ago, or maybe like a week or two ago?
I did not.
Yeah, like I mean, he wasn't obviously on the opposite side of the cage stomping it out or anything, but he hit him with like legit sweet chin music. Just I mean, like he finished the fight 5 seconds later.
It is just a kick. That is a real move.
Yeah. Favorite finisher. I mean, I loved giving people random stunners.
Yeah, that's a good one too. And it's fun to sell those. So
yeah.
I did that when I was at Barstool a couple times for videos, taking a stunner.
Yeah. So probably the stunner.
619. That's a bad pick, Robio.
I prefer the 6-9 finish.
That is not 538 of DFS friendly, Josh.
Sorry, that one was
we don't talk.
That was right there for me. It's 7:06. Everybody's already leaving.
Did you guys see the boxer that just walked out of the ring? Apparently that was for a contractual dispute, and I kind of respect it. It's not a great move. He'll never fight again on TV, but
yeah, his manager came out and said that that guy's an asshole, didn't even want to pay him for doing all of his training and stuff too. So
boxing is a world full of pieces of shit, so I think anybody standing up for that I would support.
I mean, I guess, but like to what end?
No, it doesn't.
Who's he standing up for other than himself? At least Kaepernick had a cause.
True. You're right. I think for me, like if WWE wrestlers, not to bring it back to wrestling again, if they walked out because they're like, you're making $200 fucking $1 million a year from one show, we deserve bigger money. Like I think they should walk out. Like, I think, and you should do it before WrestleMania because that's the only way it's going to happen. They're going to change anything.
But like that, it's not going to work there. If Anthony Joshua walked out before a heavyweight title fight, you might get a little bit more steam on your movement.
Probably troo. That guy was what was his name? Carl Weathers. Probably not actually Carl Weathers, but something similar.
Brandon T. Stinkface.
A lot of calls for RKO too. Some curb stomps. Curb stomps a little aggressive.
I can only imagine how awful it was to take the Stinkface.
Probably not the best. Though I bet his ass was pretty clean for that because, like, you don't want to be a jerk.
Yeah, but it's obviously obviously soaking wet.
It is probably pretty wet. It is. All right. On that note, we should call it a stream.
Yeah,
I guess.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Rikishi's sweaty rectum is definitely what I wanted to get into on the first day. Gaviglio 30% owned apparently. Oof. All right. Enjoy that, guys, in that tournament. Ugh. Yeah. All right. That's enough. Thank you guys for tuning in. Keep your eyes peeled for more FanVice news, more scheduling news. Also, people too. We're gonna have a lot more content coming on this channel, coming in general. Lots of new faces around here. Lots of smart guys coming on board who know their stuff too. In addition to all of us who know our stuff. So lots of guys who know stuff coming together under one umbrella. But it's nice to see you all back. So thank you guys for having me. Any parting words, Josh, on this fine Monday?
Nope. Go Blue Jays, Nats, Yankees, Rockies. Don't go Cubs and Astros. Man, I don't like having none of those teams. Fuck. Alrighty. Gonna be an interesting one.
You go Kendry Morales. Kendry Morales, big day. Go for your 9th home run in a row or 8th, whatever it is.
I'm gonna smoke for Justin Smoke.
Smoke a spliff for him. I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
I hope so. Adios, everybody.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you soon.